Welcome to Better with Art. I'm Melinda, and I'm here to encourage you to reclaim your creativity and practice creative self-care with weekly small art prompts that can be done in an art journal or on paper if you don't have one. This week I have the watercolors back out, and you will want to tape off the edges of your page or cover your work surface, or both. I'm using my typical Crayola basic set of 8 as my reminder that reclaiming your creativity doesn't need to cost a lot of money. Once you get a feel for what you enjoy the most, what you would like to learn more about, explore more, you can invest more money in those areas as opposed to spending a lot of money you may not have on materials you won't keep using or don't enjoy. That being said, one of the materials links I will share are these watercolor brushes that I love, but definitely cost more than these that I got on clearance or a huge sale at Hobby Lobby, I believe, and they work perfectly fine. If all you have is the brush that comes with your set, well, I always advocate using what you have. If you don't have an art journal and are working on paper with watercolors, cardstock would be a good idea if you don't have watercolor paper. And also a folder, because one of the benefits of art journaling is the privacy to express yourself and experiment without fear of what others will think. Very handy tool for many types of art making. Water spray bottle, great way to get your paints ready. So it is September. On the calendar, it is still summer. I know that there are those of you who are enjoying the approach of fall and the days that have already felt fall-like. I, however, am one of those who holds on to summer. And my color palette today is going to reflect that. You can use whatever colors you would like. Today we are just making lines and playing with color. I lay down some plain blue and am dropping in some blue mixed with black. As you can see, I still have some green down here. Reconstitute that. Mix it with a little bit of my blacky green. And don't worry about the perfection of your line. As I always say, this is about the process over the product. And today is just about relaxing with lines and playing with color mixing and the pleasure of watching watercolor move through itself. The color move through the water. Just get out your watercolors and play with color and line. As mentioned, I am far more a summer than autumn. The reason I don't like autumn is because, well, it's the precursor to winter. And winter is absolutely my least favorite season. I already find the shortened evenings unpleasant. I have made progress. For several years when I was younger, every fall I literally felt like I was dying. Felt like I was literally dying. I actually would be afraid there was something seriously wrong with me. The lessening of sunlight and approach of cold weather, I just didn't handle it well. I don't know if you are someone who struggles with seasonal affective disorder, but if you're not, and you love someone who does and you don't understand, it's real. And if you do struggle with it, remember that although it is real, there are things we can do to lessen the impact of the effects on our lives. Isn't it interesting how just dropping in water changes the look of the paint? One year, it turned out that I was significantly vitamin D deficient. And I'm not saying getting that balanced was the magic cure, because if you've made art with me for any length of time, you know that there was a lot more going on than sad. But dealing with that helped. As I keep saying, we are not one-dimensional, and our approach to mental health can't be either. And that was part of the physical that I needed to deal with. I also need to be responsible for drinking enough water and eating at least relatively balanced, relatively regular meals. I'm definitely one of those people who gets hangry. Yeah. That's not pretty. It's amazing sometimes the difference, particularly a hot meal, can make. It's just crazy. And I am someone who will be on medication the rest of my life. That is the way my brain is wired. And that's okay. We can't rely on medications, but we also can't ignore the fact that some brains, for various reasons, need different types to function at their best. My psychiatrist calls lamotrigine, which is an anticonvulsant, my safety net. It keeps me from plunging into the darkest of the depression. Because there was a significant portion of my life where I did not want to be here anymore. Sometimes people misunderstand suicidal depression as a desire to die, and it wasn't so much that. It was just wanting the pain to stop. And is it the proper use of the word ironic? The irony is that the pain is the numb. How do you explain to someone how utterly awful feeling nothing feels? That doesn't sound like it makes sense. It sounds illogical. And that's another difficulty of the hopelessness that slides into despair of severe depression, is it feels so much more rational than hope. But if that's where you are right now, I will remind you that things really do get better. Things won't always look as hopeless as they do right now. And if you've been there and you aren't there now, I am so happy to have this opportunity to share encouragement to make art with you, because it does make a huge difference. As I've mentioned in the past, I participated in the 2022 100-day project. My project was to start my first art journal. I didn't even quite know what an art journal was, and it turns out I didn't really have to, because there are no rules. That is the rule of art journaling. But I actually made my first art journal. I had received a little bookbinding kit for Christmas, and I stitched it together section by section, adding art and words as I went. Because to me that does make sense, is that an art journal would be art and words. In the 52-week art journal journey, which I started because I needed to share what I had found with others, I did provide more journaling prompts. Every Sunday's video had a journaling prompt. Going to add some places of water between the two lines to let more blending happen. Well, paint in the areas that are drier. And then I started including the writing prompts in a weekly email. And then I sort of let them go. I really like that color. I was going for an oceanish, Lake Ontario-ish vibe here. Yes, I live not too far from Lake Ontario, and I have not gotten there much this year. I have been so busy. But back to the 52-week art journal journey. that ran through 2023. It started on New Year's Day 2023, and when 2024 came, I did not want to give that totally up, so I started Better with Art. And I was going to switch to my other brush for the other page, but I don't think I'm going to. I did want more stuff going on in my lines, but I don't know. Again, this is just about relaxing into the process. I do have a buckle down that section of my page, so I'm also trying to work with it. Well, does look pretty cool though. It'll dry darker there. I just would like to disperse the edges a little more, but because it continues to buckle there. There we go. Do this however works for you. Add a little more color variation in here. So, Better with Art. My intent was weekly emails, but that is not how things have gone. Keeping up with life can be difficult. I'm hoping that as I get into a new routine of the new season, more emails will go out. Well, I will complete more emails to my lovely art makers. But I can't promise that right now. I can, however, say that if you sign up to receive a no more than weekly email from me, you will also receive a link to join the private, only encouraging, Better with Art community in the private Facebook group. I have some lovely art makers over there who love encouraging each other and are at different places on their creative self-care and art making journeys. And we'd love to have you join us. And thank you for joining me here today. I am grateful for the opportunity to remind you that taking time for art is not a waste of time. It is important to our mental health, and our mental health is important. When we are not taking time to exercise our creativity in ways that we enjoy and find meaningful, we can't be as healthy as we could. And that is why I am here. Choosing to let the 100-day project in 2022 be my excuse, my reason to establish a regular art making habit was transformative. And need to share that with others. So I've used a little bit technique on both sides as far as drawing the initial line. Just enjoy the paint play. Let all the other things fade into the background, both the things around you and those thoughts that won't stop spinning in your mind. That's one of the benefits of a little project like this, is it helps us find that flow, that spot where we just get lost in the motion of our hands, the flow of the paint, and everything just quiets. If you are feeling inspired to make your own art today, I would appreciate a thumbs up. Kind comments are always appreciated, and I love to hear where others are on their creative self-care art making journey. If you haven't yet, subscribe. I am back every Sunday with a Better with Art small art prompt for my simple form of art journaling, which I do encourage you to add your own words to. When this is dry, something as simple as peace would be great. Or take some time to vent how you're feeling before you start. And then let it wash away with the movement of the water, the pigment. Thank you again for the opportunity to encourage you to reclaim your creativity and practice creative self-care. Because we are. Better with art. But wait, there's more. I was so caught up in the flow of the paint, I totally forgot all we can do when it's dry. I have some inexpensive drawing pens, some metallic fine point markers. These are Bic, and I also have my Bic Intensity Ultra Fines, which I almost never use. I don't know if I've really used them since I got this big set that has the metallics and the fine. I have used numerous times for Better with Art and the 52-week art journal journey. But one big thing for me when doing Better with Art videos is to show you projects you can do in just a few minutes if that's all you have. Or you can extend as long as you have and continue to enjoy the therapeutic benefits. Because now you can embellish however feels good to you. You can use lines that are already there. make your own. Add things like dots and stripes. Now this may end up not having the most cohesive look, but that's okay. As we go, hopefully I'll show you different ways you can enjoy more art play, more therapeutic, creative self-care art play. This would have worked with a wider marker, but I didn't get out a wider black. I also somewhere have white. But in the shifting to what used to be my bedroom and is now my studio, those are something that got lost in the shuffle. They're probably in a cupboard in my kitchen. But I also hadn't found a set I really liked. But yes, black Sharpie would probably have been better there. I wanted to continue these stripes even though the line I originally traced doesn't follow through. But I like this, so that's what I'm doing. And that's what you can do next. So I started this video on a Thursday morning before work. It is now Saturday morning. I thought I would be doing this Friday morning. But well, I was not feeling well when I got up. I'd actually gone to bed early. All right, I'm rambling. Long story short, I woke up with what became a severe migraine. I thought I could push through it, got to work. Yeah, no, let's just say I totally lost yesterday. Before work, I was trying to function enough to get to work. I'm rambling. I think I had a point. We don't know from day to day what that day will entail. And yes, art making is something that can't always take priority. But it is important to our mental health. I'm losing the blue a little. Trying to stay next to it, but that's okay. As I always say, and better with art, it's about the process, not the product. And regardless of how this may be looking, it is very relaxing to be doing. to be feeling up to doing it this morning. Sometimes, whether we want to take time for rest or not, our bodies make us. Let's see what my largest one in here is. Oops. Well, that's uneven. This one seems to be more of a brush tip. I'll use the tape to test my color. Whatever else you have going on this week and however else you are feeling, take some time for creative self-care art making. As I said a little while ago, more time ago for me than in this video, of course, we are better with art. I think I might like that one for over here, but right now I want something darker. Okay, well, I hadn't intended to keep so much with the Tracy look, but it is relaxing and totally not taxing to my still. Not back to full functioning capacity brain. I don't know if you've ever experienced severe migraine or have seen what it can look like. I feel bad. I was having trouble maintaining full consciousness, and I am aware that several people came into the library while my boss and a friend were trying to maintain my privacy, and well, it can be disturbing to go into a public place and see someone sitting on the floor rather incoherent. So here's something else about me, which you may or may not identify with. I process things by talking about them. Which I'm sure can be less than awesome for those around me at times. But here we are. And you get to hear a little bit about my rapid decline into non-functionality at work yesterday. Anyway, my brain is exhausted. I guess I should keep with this theme. This isn't exactly where I thought I'd be going with this, but that's okay. It's my art journal, and this is relaxing. To my recently severely overtaxed brain. I feel like this one now needs something sort of seaweedish. Now it's giving me sort of an underwater vibe, even though, yeah, ripples and waves don't go up. Oh, do whatever works for you, friend. Well, there doesn't seem to be quite enough contrast between the silver and the green for that, but that's another thing about our art journals. We can express ourselves and experiment without concern for what others will think, and to get a feel for how things do and don't work. With no pressure to be concerned about how they'll look in the end, because that's not the most important part. The important part is enjoying and getting lost in the process. Your art journal is as private as you want it to be. I share mine to encourage you to take the time to practice creative self-care yourself. And the art in my art journal, well, I'm sure there are people who at times, well, actually, based on snarky, trolly, obnoxious comments, people don't think it should be called art. And that's their problem. You don't have to put your art on YouTube for trolls. And I don't have to be concerned with what they say. They are obviously not who I do this for. Well, I guess indirectly they are, because I do this for everyone, in a way. So as many people as possible can hear the message that taking time to make art is not a waste of time. Now, I would love to add some orangey metallic to that, but that is not something I have in this box. So let's see. Oh, this orange. Yeah, that's not... This marker won't work very well when it touches the metallic. That's okay. And this, although I keep saying that the final product isn't the important thing, it's the process. I feel kind of like I've sort of ruined this one a bit. And this video is getting a little long. But I hope you have found it if nothing else, relaxing. I hope you found it encouraging to make some of your own art. I am grateful for the opportunity to remind you that taking time for art is not a waste of time. Creativity is important to our mental health. health is important. So I've finally more broken out of working with what's there. I guess my seaweedish was a little bit, but it's still, I don't know, going with the theme of tracing the line. Whatever you think about this as art, as a work of art. Take time to make some of your own. It's not a waste of time. And we definitely are better with art.